Welcome, APATH. We will begin our service today with our invocation by Pastor Jan. Good morning. I'm Pastor Jan, and I am both honored and grateful for your presence today. Thank you for joining us. The invocation is the time in our service where we open our service and we call out the name or circumstance of people closest to us in our audience that's here today in person. And for those of you outline, please think or say out loud the name or circumstance of your people closest to you that need love and healing energy. And after we're done calling out the names or circumstances, whatever you're comfortable with, then we'll synchronize our energy and take a moment to send that energy to all of the people that has been called out or their circumstance. Let us call on the source of all that is and each other today to synchronize our energy in fellowship to send love and healing to all of the people closest to us. I'll begin. Love and healing for my family, my daughters Dawn and Julie, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my brother and his entire family, and my friends and all of my relatives, cousins included, and their children and their children. Yes, I'm old. Also, for my friends that have lost children, Diane Wolcott Watson, who lost her son Hans, Marty Clardy, who lost her daughter Nicole, Vicki Larson, who lost her son Joey, and my dear friend Vicki Hollingsworth, who recently, very recently, lost her son Tommy. In turn, please call out your family and loved ones and friends for their circumstance.
My grandson Dominic.
For Dominic.
My brother Daryl.
For Daryl.
Dee Dee.
For Dee Dee.
Diane Holcomb.
For Diane Holcomb.
Teresa West.
For Teresa West. For Donna's children, Josh, Heather, and Rachel. Are there more? And for a dear friend of mine whose granddaughters were repeatedly sexually attacked in an unthinkable manner, who are elementary school age and have been completely traumatized, along with their parents and their siblings and their grandmother. Please, let's wrap them in ongoing love and healing. And whenever you think of this tragedy, please send them love and healing again. You don't have to wait to be here on Sunday. You can do it anytime on your own, and they need all the love and healing they can get. If there are no more, then let us all join together with synchronized energy and send them to all the people that have been named or their circumstance has been called out today. Let's take a moment, please. and so be it. Okay, a few introductions and announcements. In case you haven't figured it out, I'm Pastor Jan Cohen, and you have joined us at APATH. APATH is an acronym for All People, All Truths, House of Enlightenment. We are an LGBTQIA+ spiritual center that is non-religious. Yes, I said that, non-religious. We do not follow any religious doctrine at all. So we are neither Hindu or Christian or Jewish or any religion. We are spiritual, and if we have a religion, it's kindness. So please join together with us in being the kindest humans that we're humanly possible of becoming, and send that kindness all over the earth, wherever we go, whenever we go there. Be kind, do it kindly. What we do teach are mindfulness, levels of consciousness, universal law, ways to become more kind and more good and rise on that ladder of consciousness. We, as a spiritual center and official church, or unchurched, would be more accurate, we are developing lots of programs for our LGBTQIA+ community. And when I say lots, I mean that. We have an umbrella of Dawn's House, which is named for my daughter, who I lost 5 years ago. And Dawn's House will be an abundance of programs for alcohol, drug addictions, dysfunction, sexual abuse, domestic violence. We intend to build group homes for runaway teens that are LGBTQIA because their life was miserable at home and they were either put out or they escaped on their own and are homeless and are not adults living out there on the streets. We intend to take them in and help them rise above their circumstance and stay true to who they are so that they can be who they are every day. And that job, as adults, is ours to teach them. If you go to our website, apathoe.com, and the APATH of Enlightenment comes from the first letter of each word in our name, All People, All Truths, House of Enlightenment, so APATH, APATH, and then OE is of Enlightenment. So we fondly call ourselves APATH, and our website is APATHOE, so APATHOE.com. Please go and visit us, read, leave us comments, sign up for our text updates, email updates, leave us a comment, volunteer, reach out to us, tell us what we're doing, good, bad, or ugly, and also volunteer. Please join us. We need all the help we can get. We do have a global vision and intend to spread out. We hope to have a Dawn's House everywhere around the globe so that when people are suffering, they'll just automatically say, oh, I'm going to Dawn's House. I need to go get help. We intend to have our spiritual centers everywhere around the globe and our community centers as well. So please join us, bring us your insight, your feedback, your vision. Join them with our vision. We need help on our board of directors always, and help on pretty much every level you can imagine. So whatever your skills and abilities are, I am quite certain that we can use your help. Please join us, and it's not just for LGBTQIA people. Keep in mind that A is representative of our angel allies, and without them, I don't know what would happen to us. But our allies are, of course, always welcome on every level of our leadership and throughout our congregation and our followers. So please, no matter who you are, if you're like-minded and you're an ally and you're one of our community, please come and join us. We are not a church that says gays are welcome. We are a spiritual center that is queer. We are an LGBTQIA+ spiritual center, and all of our allies are welcome. So thank you so much for joining us today, and let us begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again. I am going to do a little bit with the chakras. We're going to do grounding. Our chakras are our energy centers that work with focusing us throughout our human lives. So I am going to start with the grounding. It is going to be the red chakra. It's at the base of your spine. And if I can have everybody stand up and focus right there on the base of your spine. Focus that there is a round sphere. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Now imagine that there are roots going from that red sphere down your legs, through your thighs, through your calves, down through your feet, through the bottom of this floor, into Mother Earth. And once they hit Mother Earth, imagine those roots spreading out in all directions, creating the strongest foundation you've ever felt before. As if somebody walked up and shoved you, you would not even move because you were grounded so strongly into Mother Earth. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And just feel that centered feeling and that grounding. And I want you to carry that grounding throughout your day and just feel the power that that gives you. And feel that centered feeling. And take a deep breath in and let it go. And you can open your eyes and sit down. Continue lighting the other chakras. Sacral chakra is orange, and it is about 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches below your belly button. So just focus right there for a minute. It is your creativity and your emotions. The third one, so your solar plexus is yellow. A couple inches above your belly button, and it is your personal power. Focus there for a minute. Your fourth one is your heart chakra. It's green. Love, connection. Fifth one is your throat chakra. Light blue. It's right here at the base of your collarbone. It is speaking your truth and communication. Your sixth, your third eye, it's your intuition. Indigo. Right here between your eyebrows. Focus on that. It's getting your answers, you're listening. When you feel something, like you're supposed to do something right then, and you listen. It's your intuition. And then the seventh one, real quick, I want to set our intention for the day, and it's going to be peace. It's going to be our crown chakra. It's at the top of your head, like when we were babies where the soft spot was, right there. It is purple. I want to set it for peace, like this. The affirmation: I listen to the wisdom of the universe, and I focus on being. So you can say that with me. I listen to the message of the universe, and I focus on being.
I listen to the message of the universe and I focus on being.
So that is a really good affirmation when you want to feel the peace and you want to feel connected to your higher power, whatever that may be. That's a great affirmation to just say over and over. Thank you. So now we're going to go over here and we are going to do some more energy work. We are going to send love and healing to our LGBTQIA community. We're going to light these candles and just focus on each part of this community. The lesbian sisters, the gay brothers, our bisexual community, our transgender family, our queer community, all of the intersectionality family, our amazing allies, our angels that are always with us, supporting us. And this special candle right here is for all of the people around the globe that are suffering. And I would like to do a special for all the people that are suffering from the wildfires, the fires in Maui that have lost everything, and also everybody that is getting hit by the hurricane that is going up the West Coast. They all need our prayers and our energy right now. So if we could just take a few moments to send that loving, healing energy to everyone, and we're going to do some drum beats to send that to them. Thank you.
And next, we'll have Pastor Jan with the talk. APAF. Let me attempt to inspire and enlighten you today. We have talked often, you and I, about levels of consciousness and universal law. And as a brief reminder, as we travel up the levels of consciousness from way down in the bottom, guilt and shame, and try to get to the very top of enlightenment, we have a lot of stepping stones to travel on our journey to that enlightenment, and that's called our path of enlightenment. That work that we do on us as humans to rise above all the earthly negativeness that we encounter on a daily basis. So on our path to enlightenment, we realize, of course, that there are many paths, and we are just one of those paths. There are two ways that we can travel up that ladder of consciousness. One of those ways is to do the work. Do the work, 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 become a better person and a better person and a better person. Become more aware. Now, consciousness is another word for awareness. So when we are aware, not just of our own being, but including our own being, and everyone around us, then we are talking about that when we're talking about the level of consciousness that we now live on. All of us have a different plateau, and at any time in our life, that's subject to change based on the circumstance around you, based on what you're doing, thinking, saying, and being treated like. So other people affect you if you let them. So one of the things that you should know is that we all belong, all life that has ever been, all life that will ever be, all life that is currently alive on planet Earth. We are all connected in one energy field, according to the universal law of one. So we are all always interconnected, always have been, always will be. And what that means in simple English is that we are in a relationship, whether we know it or not, with every single human that has ever been or will ever be, and that is here now. So when you come to the understanding that every person you come in contact with, and all those you're never going to come in contact with, you are in a relationship with them. So if you live your life as such that they are people that you love, people that you're in a relationship with, people that you care about, people that are in your circle, because it's all of life. All of life, again, that has ever been or will ever be, and that is now. So, as you're treating people as though you're in a relationship with them, you rise on that level of consciousness. You literally are doing chin-ups. You're pulling yourself up. Each time you treat another person and become more aware that you're in a relationship with everyone, whether you know them or not. Whether you're aware or not that you are in a relationship with them, you're in a relationship with them. Now, how you treat that relationship is completely dependent upon you. You're in the relationship, so what you going to do with it? That's the real question. So, that has a great effect on your level of consciousness because it adds to or subtracts from your own level of consciousness. For example, if you are living in guilt and shame and hiding and living in the dark, and you cannot be your authentic self because of all the things that have happened to you and all of the things that you have done to others, you're carrying all that around on your back, and you're living in that guilt and shame every single day, you are are at the bottom of the scale of consciousness, you are way at the bottom. And you can pull yourself out of there. One of those ways to do it is to understand that you're in a relationship with everyone. So think about treating people differently. Think about how you can better someone else. Because while you're helping others, you're, again, doing that chin up and reaching that next rung on the ladder in the level of consciousness on your own personal path to enlightenment. And you are on a path to enlightenment, whether you know it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, whether you act like it or not, it's still there, existing every single day, waiting for you to climb that ladder of consciousness and get to enlightenment. So what are those rungs right before enlightenment? Of course, peace is right underneath it, and that's considered enlightenment as well. That starts at 600 and goes to 699 for your vibrational frequency. And of course, enlightenment is 700 to 1,000. And no one has ever tested above 1,000. And people that have tested between 700 and 1,000 are the Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus. Mother Teresa is up just in the 600s. So she's at peace, and that is the threshold, the doorway of enlightenment. And underneath peace is joy. Underneath joy is unconditional love. And I want to talk for a second about unconditional love because it ties in perfectly with being in a relationship with everybody on the planet. In order to be that, do that, think that, say that every single day of your life, and be that loving, kind human that just gives all of humanity a ginormous hug every day in your thoughts, in your words, and in your actions. In order to do that, you have to come from a space of unconditional love. Nothing else on the planet will let you be in a relationship with everybody on the best level that you can, so that it's love you're giving to them and not something lesser than that. Because if you're lower on the scale of consciousness than unconditional love, then you're not giving them love. You're giving them something else. You might be giving them guilt and shame and spilling all over them, grief, willingness. You could be on any of those rungs and carrying all around that misery with you every day, and what happens is it squirts out of you, and it squirts out all over everyone else around you. So the second way that you can rise on that level of consciousness and do that chin up and pull yourself up is to understand what enlightenment is and how you get there even more easily than doing those chin-ups every day. That's a struggle. You have a lot of learning to do. You have a lot of tips and tricks to learn to make yourself into a better human, to be more kind, to be more good, to unconditionally love everyone on the planet. And I know that that's a difficult task, especially in those lower levels of consciousness. It's hard to love someone unconditionally, no matter what they think, no matter what they say, and no matter what they do, for you to stay steady in unconditional love and just literally embrace them and wrap them in your own angel wings that just literally smothers them with love. So that's not an easy thing to do, but it is a thing to do, and it is what every human should strive to do to every other person on the planet. To shed all the negativeness that has been done to us and all the negativeness that we have done in our lives, because we're all human and we don't escape that. And then we can treat people as they deserve from a position of unconditional love, and that's what we will embrace the world with. That is so catching. It catches like wildfire when you receive and accept and love someone no matter who they are, no matter what they look like, who they sleep with, what color they are, what religion they are, where they come from, how they live. no matter what they think, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, and you love them unconditionally anyway, then you know that you are on that path of enlightenment. And your chin-ups are a heck of a lot easier to do because you're exuding love. Now here's the other thing. In order to get to that spot, in order to rise on the level of consciousness more easily, the second way is to be. I know, that sounds a little crazy. Okay, I'm being right now. Well, no, you're not. Being is another word for, I'm going to let you fill in that blank based on what I'm getting ready to tell you. Being is being your true nature, your true self. Because honestly, we all have a phantom self. Scary music, please. Our phantom self is that self that the majority of people on the planet exude every day. That's who most people are every day of their lives, is their phantom self. And they don't know they're their phantom self, but they are. They don't know that they are not their true, authentic self. So the phantom self, if you hear that voice in your head, let me explain that a little better. You've all of us have seen people out on the street. Wherever we go, we see people, and some of them are muttering to themselves. They're talking out loud, and they're saying whatever they're saying, and they just keep going. They don't care that we can all hear them. Obviously, we accept them automatically as someone mad, that they've, gone a little cuckoo. And they're talking to themselves out loud in public, and they're just rambling on, and they seem to be carrying on a conversation with someone, but yet there's no one around them. And they don't have an earbud in, they're not talking on the telephone, so we just kind of look at them, and maybe we take a couple steps away, because we don't know what they might do, because we just immediately judge them as mad. Well, let me tell you something. There is this much difference between them and all the rest of us, and I'll tell you why. Because every single one of us, the majority of people on the planet, there are a few exceptions, that hears that voice or those voices in their head all day long, every day, and you're talking back to them too. The only difference is you're not doing it out loud. You're not walking down the street in public going la 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 la, just talking and talking like you're carrying on a conversation. You do it quietly to yourself. Sometimes if you're home alone and nobody can hear you, you might talk out loud back to the voice. Just shut up today. Or maybe you're just going along with it or arguing with it. Because it's a voice that goes on and on and on. But you can't get rid of the voice. And those people that are being do not have the voice. So, if you think that voice drives you crazy, you're right, it does drive you a little crazy. All of us, we've all experienced it. Most of us have it all day long, every day. And the lucky ones, the ones that have worked hard at being, do not. So, what is being exactly? Being is mindfulness. Mindfulness is, I picked up our program, I'm looking at it, I feel the paper between my fingers, I'm completely aware of everything that's going on in the moment because I am present. I am present in the moment, and I am being. And while I'm being, I am being my true, authentic self. There's no voice in my head arguing with me, complaining, liking what I do, disliking what I do, telling me what I should do better or different. Trying to control me 24/7. We all know that voice does that. What is that voice? That is our ego mind, or monkey mind. That is the voice of our conditioning. Because from the time we were born, or as a toddler, as soon as we could start understanding what our parents would say, they started conditioning us to be the people that they wanted us to be. No, you can't do this. Yes, you can do that. Do this, believe this, say this, don't touch. They went on and on and on. Not just our parents, all of our relatives, our teachers, our professors, our neighbors, our pastors, our reverends, our ministers, our priests, our shamans, our gurus, whatever religion we were brought up in, it was conditioning. We accepted all of that. We just believed it, bought into it. I mean, we were little children. We didn't know anything else but to believe everything our parents and everybody else said. So we bought it hook, line, and sinker. We were completely conditioned by our life to believe what they believe, to live as they live, to think what they think, to say what they say, to do what they do, so that we would be the persons that they wanted us to be. How did they get us to do that? Easy. The reward and punishment system. We got one or the both. Reward if we're a good girl, punishment if we're a bad girl. And so our life went. When we got old enough, they didn't have to tell us what to do anymore, and we wouldn't have tolerated that anyway, because we're grown. We didn't need them to tell us who to be anymore, because we were already that. We created a vision in our mind based on all that conditioning, who we were supposed to be. We can never live up to that, of course, because it's just an imaginary thing. It's everything everybody told us that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have the political beliefs of our family. We're supposed to have the religious beliefs of our family. We're supposed to have the moral beliefs of our family, and those that factored into our life, that our family accepted as part of the family unit, our teachers, our professors, our pastors. We grew up in such a way so that we were completely conditioned to be a clone of our parents and their parents and their parents and their parents. And we became that. Not just you, me, all of us. Because we did not know to question everything. That's the first rule. Question everything except none of the dogma. None of the dogma. You decide what you believe politically. You decide if you believe in religion, organized religion or non-organized religion, or if you're spiritual or if you're an atheist. You decide what resonates with you and be that. Don't take the dogma. You don't have to be an exact duplicate of every adult before you. You don't have to do that. You have a choice. And here's how you get away from it. That conditioning that's embedded in our brain, our ego mind, that talks to us all day long. Oh, God forbid we do something that is not part of our conditioning. We want to be something else than we were told to be. Maybe we're a doctor, and what we really want to do is be a painter. We want to be an artist, or we want to be a maintenance man. We really love to be a mechanic. We love spinning that wrench. We know what's inside us and what we're supposed to be, but we ignore it and we accept the dogma and we go be and think and say and do whatever it is we've been conditioned to do. Why? Because that voice is telling us what to do all the time. It took over for our parents and the rest of the world conditioning us, and now we live in that rut. And that's where we reside. That's where we stay for the rest of our lives if we don't do something about it. And when you are being a clone of your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents, you are not progressing on your path of enlightenment. You are not rising on the ladder of consciousness because you are stuck in the dogma of things you don't even agree with. You haven't even questioned it. You don't even know if you agree with it. Often, you begin to learn. One of the reasons why you're here, tuned in or in person, is because you're beginning to understand that you don't accept the dogma of your parents. Because you wouldn't be here with us today if you accepted the things that you were trained to accept. Unless you were in a very, very small minority of the world's population. And speaking of small minorities of the world's population, there's not 9 billion people on the planet, and 1/10 of 1%, there's 8 billion people on the planet. There's about 1/10 of those people are actually being. That means they are enlightened. 1/10 of the world's population on this planet now, right now, today, are actually enlightened beings. What are they doing? They're being. How are they being? They are living in the now. So that conditioning, that ego mind, that encompasses 3 things: your thoughts, your emotions, and your body. Body, how does that fit in, right? Because with your emotion is a reflection of your mind. Whatever those thoughts are, reflect, and that's your emotion. That's what causes your emotion, are those thoughts that are in your brain. The things that happen on a daily life. You think, you accept them with your brain, you think, you hear that ego mind talking to you, and those emotions, if you don't express them, work through them, do away with them, do something with them, what happens is they will show up in your body. You will have all kinds of things go on with your body. You'll suffer from an array of things, and eventually that will turn into disease because it's the negative living within you. So that ego mind controls your thoughts, your emotions, and your body if you let it. Only if you let it. How do you stop it? It never shuts up. It just goes around the clock. It talks to you all day long, driving down the street, doing the dishes, whatever you're doing, that voice is talking to you, and you can ignore it, you can deny it, you can say, no, I don't ever hear a voice. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. How do you stop it? I'm going to tell you. By being. By living in the moment. Being present in the moment. By being conscious in the moment. Aware, completely aware of what is going on right now in my life. I'm standing here on the stage and I'm completely present and there's no voice in my head. And when I get off this stage, I'm going to be sitting and I'm going to be in the moment. I am going to feel me. I am going to be me, my authentic self. I am going to work on being me 24/7, no matter what's going on. I am going to live in the present, and I'm not going to escape the present unless somebody forces me. Sometimes that happens because I'm not perfect at it. I am good at it, but I'm not perfect. So let me give you an example. Somebody dies. Woo, off that cliff I go. Somebody close to me dies. And even then, I don't have to even know them. Sometimes it just brings me to my knees. And am I in that moment in my grief? Yes, in my grief. Wow, I just fell right down that ladder of consciousness into a vibration of 75. That's grief, people. That's grief. 75, a vibration of 75. Guilt is 20. 20. So if I'm carrying around the guilt of everything I've done in my life and everything that people have done to me and I feel responsible for, because that's what we do, we blame ourselves. All of that wrapped up gives me a vibration of 20 if that's where I am. So how do you get up that ladder of consciousness? The 2 ways. One way is learn, do those chin-ups, pull yourself up, rung by rung, and keep on going until you reach enlightenment. But in order to get those final few phases, from unconditional love to joy to peace to enlightenment, in order to do that, you have to be your authentic self. You are not getting there being your phantom self. That's not going to happen today, tomorrow, or any day in the future. You must become your authentic self all the time. And who is that? That's the person that is present every moment, living in the moment, and never, ever, 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 ever paying any attention to that voice. What do you got to do to not be controlled by the voice, the emotions, and the body? Because those three things will control us. Those are our conditioning. Those are the reactions to our conditioning. And they do override all else when we let them. So how can you avoid that? You have to understand, I am not that voice in my head. I am not my emotions. And I am not my body, my pain. Body is another word for pain, because everything that affects our body is pain. If we don't do something with our emotions and our thoughts and it affects our body, it is a painful body. I like to call it pain body, but that sounds kind of crazy. But it is pain body. So how do we avoid that? We say, there's that voice, and here I am. Wait, let me say that again. There's that voice, and here I am. There's that voice, I can hear it. And here I am over here. I am not that voice. I am listening to that voice. I can't be that voice. I am here, and that voice is there. Now, what about the emotions? Watch those too. Watch those emotions. When you have emotions, you're sad, you're mad, you're crying, you're angry. Pay attention, clock in, say, there's an emotion. There's my emotion, and here I am. There's an emotion, and here I am. I am not that emotion. It's just an emotion. It's my egoic mind reflecting itself in emotion. In emotion. But there's the emotion, and there's the thought, there's the voice. I am neither of those. I am here, and they are there. What about that pain? What about the pain in our body? Because some of our emotions and some of our thoughts have lived with us as long as we've lived. We carry them around on our back like a monkey, the hurt that people have done to us, the hurt that we've done to other people. We carry around this pain, and if we don't do anything with it, pretty soon it attacks our body. It makes us fat, it makes us sick, it makes us hurt. All of it is pain, 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 disease. And if we let it go, it's going to kill us eventually. But what do we do with that pain? How do we get rid of it? We say, there's a pain, and here I am. There's the pain, and here I am. I am not that pain. I am not that emotion. I am not that voice in my head. Identify with your authentic self. Do not identify as the voice. You are not those thoughts. Those are different from you. You are not those emotions. Don't identify with them. You are not that pain. Don't identify with the pain. You and the pain are two different things. You and the emotions are two different things. You and the thoughts, the voice, are two different things. That whole ego mind and you are two different things. And you can quiet it. You can do away with it all. Is it a lot of work? You bet you it is. Because what do you got to do? You've got to be present. Every moment of your life. Whenever that voice crops up, that emotion crops up, that pain shows itself, you say, I am here, and that voice is there. I am here, and that emotion is there. I am here, and that pain is there. I am not those things. I am me, my authentic self. And I am here in the moment. I am ignoring them. I am present, and immediately they all disappear. They go completely away right now, as soon as you are in the moment. And I'll tell you why. You cannot be present in the moment. paying attention to whatever's going on. You're washing your hands, you're doing the dishes, you're making love, you're driving down the street, you're talking to your daughter on the phone. Whatever it is you're doing, if you're focused and paying 100% to what is going on in the moment, you are your authentic self. You are being a perfect human because you are being. Being is the key to enlightenment. When you are 100% being, you have reached enlightenment. Let me say that again, because that sounds a little crazy. It's supposed to be some superhuman feat, right? But it's not. Enlightenment is living in the moment. So you might go back and forth and back and forth. I'm here, I'm being present, I'm paying attention, I'm being. Uh-oh, there's that voice. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to listen to that voice. I'm not that voice. I'm something different than that voice. I'm going to pay attention and focus on what I'm doing. So you watch the voice. Don't condemn it. Don't judge it. Don't call it names. Don't say, get out of here. Acknowledge that it's there and say, I am me. I am not it. I'm not identifying with that voice anymore. It's not me. That emotion is not me. That pain I'm suffering is not me. The thoughts, the emotions, and the body pain is not me. It's all part of my ego mind that wants to just chatter me to death. And if I let it, it will. On my deathbed, I will hear that voice saying all the negative things that it says, that it's been saying ever since I could remember. The only way to shut that voice up, there's only one way. That's to not identify with your ego mind. Understand that you and your ego mind are two different things, and be. Practice being. That's the stillness. The stillness is enlightenment. It's where all of our answers lie. Everything that we need lies within us. We don't have to search and go anywhere to find what we need in life. It's right here. Right here. And it's in every one of you. Nobody escapes their own stillness unless you shut it up with your ego mind. Once you get rid of the ego mind, you will be in the present and you will find all the answers that you need. Thank you. Namaste.
Let's go to meditation. Let's go to meditation. Everybody can sit up straight in their chairs. Feet grounded on the floor. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. And we're going to practice being right now. So we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. And while we're holding, we are going to listen for those messages from the universe. Inhale in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, this time. Deep in breath and a big exhale. Inhale. And let it go. Practice this theme for the rest of your day and throughout your week. Thank you.
And now for benediction. Okay, APAB, please rise with me and repeat after me. Peace to my brothers.
Peace to my brothers.
Peace to my sisters.
Peace to my sisters.
Peace to my siblings.
Peace to my siblings.
Peace to the whole world.
Peace to the whole world.
And peace to me.
And peace to me.
Go in peace, manifest what you will. And thank you again for joining us today. Please stay after with us for our drum circle and send loving, healing energy for world peace. Grab your drum at home. You can use a pot and a spoon, or you can drum on your body. Or you can have a drum. And on the third page of your program, for those of you in person, you'll see that there are, this is our methodology of, if you can say it, you can play it. So we have some words to go with the beats so that you can remember what the beats are instead of taking a lot of drum lessons. And we can all join in a synchronized, more synchronized way of drumming for the circle. So a heartbeat, first of all, is 2 beats. Hot chocolate, 3 beats. Hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate. 4 beats. Mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes. 5 beats. I love apple pie. I love apple pie. I love apple pie. 6 beats. I love to play my drum. I love to play my drum. I love to play my drum. 8 beats. Chocolate, milk, and potato chips. Chocolate, milk, and potato chips. Chocolate, milk, and potato chips. 9 beats. Won't you come with me on vacation? Won't you come with me on vacation? Won't you come with me on vacation? And 10 beats, the most complex rhythm, is alligators don't walk well on leashes. Alligators don't walk well on leashes. Alligators don't walk well on leashes. Okay, so now for our drum circle. Thank you again for joining us today, and let's get busy with the drums.